In healthcare, the experience of the patient is the new marketing. My name is Ruben, Coach Ru of Filipinos in Productions, here with
Nikki Loquez, the owner of Isa Health Solutions. How are you guys?
welcome to Freedom Friday Live.
Filipino, 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 Filipino. Hoy pare, pakinggan niyo ako. Ito ng tunay na Pilipino. Galing sa baryo sa Pambato. Pumunta ng LA, nagtrabaho.
What does this quote mean to you? Because I know that you're in healthcare and you probably understand that things are changing. What does it mean when it says the experience of the patient is the new marketing?
So, believe it or not, my whole process measure is designed off that idea. So it's under a high reliability process measure where we look at things in a justified way, and we do this constantly, no matter if it's the best service we provide or if it's a bad service that we provide. We put it into something called a root cause analysis and see how we could even improve from a satisfactory survey to an unsatisfactory survey. So meaning that the company is designed to always review its performance improvement. So again, it our service is nursing. Our service is caring. We can't Caring is not like a one set rule, and it's tailored to everybody that it services. So it's a little bit hard to do that when your product is not like shampoo. Like, you know what I mean? So it is the feedback of the patient and their experience with that feedback. So again, nursing is so complex that we have psych patients, we have medical patients that when people are sick, they sometimes review or view things poorly or negatively just because they're in a sick role, and nurses or people's caretakers response or handling of that makes a difference.
Yeah.
So again, that's always into my metrics as a company, because it's important in healthcare.
Joining us today live on a special guest.
Nikki, thank you so much again for being a co-host. It's been way too long since you've been back, but I am happy to have you. Please reintroduce yourself and ISA Health Solutions.
So I am Nikki Loquez. I am the owner of ISA Health Solutions. I am also the owner of ISA BPO in Cavite, Philippines. So Dr. Austria is from Cavite, and it was going to be a great conversation. But ISA is a staffing agency and pending a visiting nurse agency. I'm in the process of accrediting ISA to be a visiting nurse agency. So right now, my main service line is staffing. So we've been around for the last, I think, 2 years now. In the last year is when I really escalated or scaled up the company. We have some solid process measures, so that's why it took me so long to create those policies and procedures for the company. But yeah, I'm here. I'm in Quincy. Freedom Friday. I am feeling free, and this is my dream come true right now. So back to you,
Wow.
Ruben.
Wowie, wow. Dream come true. Man, you're putting a lot of pressure on me, Nikki. My goodness. Wow. I'm super excited. I really want to introduce or reintroduce Dr. Oliver Austria from Radiant Dentistry in Woburn. So, Dr. Austria, welcome to Freedom Friday Live.
Hello, mabuhay.
Mabuhay. All right. Well, hey, I almost forgot Filipino Independence Day was yesterday,
Yes,
so it should be said. And you're the first Filipino influencer since Filipino Independence Day this year.
all right.
So,
Come on.
Dr. Austria, please introduce yourself and your business, and we'll start the conversation.
Hello, mabuhay. Kamusta po? My name is Dr. Oliver Austria. I'm a dentist by profession, and I'm honored to share my journey as a Filipino dentist who dared to dream beyond borders.
I like the ability for you to be succinct and not really talk about anything else. But hey, you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with prioritizing the dream. The first question we want to ask you, Oliver, is that so what was your mindset prior to along the path, or maybe even when you decided that you wanted to be a dentist, right? Where were you at? Like, what were you thinking before the wheels started to roll and things started to churn for you?
Yeah, so let me give you a little bit of background of my life when I was in the Philippines. So I went to dental school. I earned my Doctor of Dental Medicine degree back in 2000 from Central Escolar University, College of Dentistry in Manila, Philippines. Right after graduation, I began my dental practice in Quezon City and also in Cavite, in which I served the local community for 6 months before I decided to migrate to the United States. Me moving to the United States, I was like hesitant. I know it's impossible. That's my thought process at that time. That for me to go to dental school, because it's very, very competitive. There's a lot of foreign trained dentists that move to the US. And basically, they have the same goal as I am, but I don't know the path at that time.
Mm.
And it was hard. I mean, you have to go through a long process of recredentialing, taking the board exams and all that, and it's very difficult, especially for somebody that just moved here without having all the resources, no connections or anything, and then juggling your time working and building a family. So yeah, and to answer your question about for me, I kind of felt like I have to pursue something. I know a lot of Filipino that migrated to the US, they started with something different, maybe a change of career and all that. But for me, I'm always driven in a sense that I want to be a dentist. I want to my dental career. And I started the process. I took the board exam, and I was able to, credential myself, apply to all the dental school. And luckily, I got accepted to Tufts University School of Dental Medicine, prestigious school, I would say. And yeah, so that's how it all started. And now I own my dental practice.
Well, let's slow down really quick, because you said the word, actually said the word impossible,
In,
right? Right. You
yeah,
thought it was impossible. So just give me an idea, right? So when you think, say, impossible, how many? I mean, doesn't have to be Filipinos. Maybe it's just
oh, oh,
dentists who come from different countries that want to recertify in the U.S.
you
Like,
know,
out of 100 dentists that may want to do that, what are the odds, or what are the statistics in terms of, you know?
I love to answer this question. It's a very good question. You know why? Because it's, as I mentioned, it's very competitive. A lot of foreign trained dentists, majority are from India, Pakistan. They were already trained when they were in dental school in India, or even them growing up in the United States or Canada. They go to their country to study, but their main goal is to go back to the United States and practice here. So they know the process, and they train themselves to take that board exam and to do all those credentialing and all that. For Filipinos, the main factor I would say that they are hesitant to do it is because of cost of education here. It's very expensive, and also for some reason, us we don't get accepted much to the program. Maybe I can be misquoted about this, but you just because it's so competitive that
Mm.
I would say 3% or maybe less than 3% of Filipino dentists that have tried that were able to achieve that goal.
Mm. Mm. 3%.
Uh,
That's yeah, that seems very discouraging. The-
and if you can check with a lot of dental school that offers a program for international dentists, we're lucky to find there's one or two Filipino dentists in their program, and most of the time it's zero.
Do you feel like it's because we are part of the Asian? Ideally, have you ever heard of affirmative action?
Yes,
Do you think that influences our admission rate?
I would say yes, because I don't know, maybe the mindset of us Filipinos is we want to make or earn money right away. Why? Because our main goal is to help our family back home
Mm, hmm.
instantly.
What were the main obstacles or challenges you faced? I think you elaborated.
Being an owner or being a family man, which one?
Um, you know what? How about
Oh,
all
well,
of
on the come up, on the come
Oh,
up, right? Like,
uh, well, be I mean, I don't have any personal training in regards to be, being an entrepreneur. So I dive into this entrepreneurship of being a practice owner without knowing anything. I'll say I learn as I go. Why? Because for me, I kind of feel like I already achieved uh, my my main goal at the time to be a dentist here in the U.S. I kind of feel like what is next for me? I already achieved whatever I needed to achieve at that time, but I want to make sure that I'll stay inspirational for my kids. If there are other people there that will be inspired to for all the stuff that I do, it's a gift for me. And I kind of feel like I have to make sure that I create a legacy for my children, and that's why I started this, ventured into practice ownership.
so at what point did you say to yourself, well, hey, man, this is not enough. This is not going to be enough. As much as I thought this was going to be enough, it's just not enough. I mean, like a lot of people who are watching this or going to watch this may have felt the same way. Like, oh, hey, I thought this was going to be enough, but it's not enough. But maybe I'm like, oh, I don't know, I'm too old or I'm too, you know what
Mhm.
I mean? I've already put in too much work. What allowed you to kind of like break through that thinking? Because that's a lot of people think it. Like I feel like oh, hey, I've had enough success, even though you want more. Like what made you go for more when you feel like when it would have been justified that you didn't, quite
Yeah.
frank.
When I was working as an associate to successful dental practices, I kind of felt like I was should I say I felt like stagnant in a sense that I was happy that I was making money. I was like making really good money, but I kind of didn't find joy to it after a
Mm,
certain point, 2 years, 3 years. I always questioned myself, what could have been if I am an owner of a practice here, that I have my name attached to that practice or to that brand. And for me, the mindset there is for me to pass along to my children, one of them hopefully, that practice. So that's the mindset for me. I want to create a legacy for them that they can take over when I decided to retire.
got it. So that's the current mindset is just creating the legacy, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
why is that so? I mean, obviously, for other than the obvious reasons, why is that so important to you? Because there's a lot of people that have children that wouldn't sacrifice even more, as you did. Um, I mean, first off, I just love that about you because that's something that you and I share. It's like it's all about the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
But why? But because again, I can ask myself the same question, but I feel like I want to hear from you. Like, why is it so important to you?
Why? I mean, I'm an immigrant from the Philippines. Everyone's dream is to be somebody here. When I moved to the U.S., I was working as uh, I cut onions, uh, put bread in the oven at Legal Seafoods. That was my first job. For me, I always look back where I was, and I don't want any of my kids to be in that situation. So why I wanted to have that practice and for me to pass along, of course, to pass along to my children. We talk about generational wealth. For me, it's not just about generational wealth. I want to make sure that my kids will carry the lasting legacy. I always mention about legacy and all that. Just I want to carry my name. I want my kids to carry the name Austria or whatever brand that I'm creating. That's all.
Mm. Mm.
So, Dr. Austria, um, what do you do now to continue growing your brand or business?
Okay. Yeah, I take a lot of continuing education courses, like world-renowned speakers and educators. I traveled to Seattle to attend those courses that we call it the Kois tribe, Koi Center. A few things, and also I was credentialed to be part a fellow of Academy of General Dentistry, and also the academy. I'm still waiting. Hopefully, I'll get the fellowship from the Academy of American Academy of Implant Dentistry. So I take a lot of continuing education courses. I'm not just like a fly-by dentist that will, that after you graduate, that's it. No, I want to make sure that I'll be stay up to date to whatever trends and knowledges out there that I have to learn, so that I can share. I mean, practice that and provide that to my patients. In the
Hmm. Amazing. Yeah, continuing education. That's why we're here. We're trying to get people to learn, get people
we
to
have to. Our
right.
diploma is not it.
It's 100%,
Yeah.
100%. I completely get it. Yeah, no, I think continuing education, I think that's the way that anybody can grow their business and brand. We've talked about the past, we talked about the present. Now let's talk about the future. Um, Oliver, what kind of trends do you see in healthcare? Um, and what are you doing about those trends as it relates to you and your business and how you approach, the day to day, or maybe even planning?
There's quite a few trends that are out there right now. Of course, we all know about AI, and also marketing. Marketing is not just a word of mouth right now. You cannot just rely on word of mouth. You have to make sure that you have your online presence, SEO, digital marketing, Facebook marketing, all social media. It's key for us to be successful and for us to thrive, and for our brand to reach the patients or potential patients.
Hmm. Hmm. So digital trends,
Digital trends, yeah,
right?
yeah. AI,
Influencing
of course,
AI, of course. I'm sure that's made your job a little bit easier,
a
right?
lot. Yeah, but AI will not replace dentists. That's for sure.
So,
Um,
what would you give other entrepreneurs?
as far as advice.
As far as advice, just like what Ruben always say, let's make it happen. We have to make it happen. There's no other way. It's not easy being a business owner. You're the CEO. You're everything. I'm the janitor on the weekend. I train my kids to clean the office, shred papers, and all that. We wear many hats. We just have to do it. That's all. For us to really, if we really want to achieve that dream, that goal, you have to do it. There's no other way.
Let's dig into that a little further, because as much as I like the simplicity of the answer,
Hmm.
I don't think it's necessarily that simple. But for people who are not accustomed to, I mean, I would say maybe building things, creating things, because I think that's what it means to be an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, we have to stay inspirational to them.
Yeah.
Ins-
How do you do it? Yeah. I mean, so let's talk about
Me, I always talk to them about like my personal experience, where I came from, and share with them that yeah, I went through a lot of struggles, a lot of I'm not saying depression and whatnot, but anxiety in terms of moving to the United States. And I tell them that I was not making money at that time, but not bragging about, but look what I have now. A majority of the circle of friends that I have come to my house, and I share with them my life story.
it. Hmm.
I don't have to, give them pep talk or whatnot. They can see who I was. They know who I was and what I have become since then.
Hmm. Hmm. So it's more like not just talking, but
Not
letting them
just talking.
letting them into your
Yeah.
life, letting them see what you created, So
Just like what you mentioned to me in the introduction, that you saw my post on social media, whatever. I post about my kids. For me, I don't have to say too much about anything. Every My life is an open book to everyone. They know who I hang out with. Majority of the time is my kids. That's who I am. That's all. I teach them. I show them how to cut grass, how to clean the house. We don't have a servant. There's no need.
right.
We are the servants of ourselves. That's all. You just watch them how they do it. You just watch your uncles, your aunts, your grandma, how they cook, how they clean the house, how they wash their laundries and all that. That's it. There's no direct instruction on how to do things growing up in the Philippines. No, they'll
Yeah.
just give you the walis, whatever, and they'll do it.
Give him the willies. Or else you can get the slipper.
Oh
The
yeah, oh yeah.
Bernadette says, "Do you agree that you should let a manager do the management part to be more successful?" So let me see. I think maybe this, maybe I'm not exactly sure the context of the question that Bernadette asked, but maybe it's a difference between being an owner and then letting the manager manage your business, as opposed to being an owner and managing yourself. So, um, what do you say? What do you say, Dr. Austria?
Thank you for the question, Bernadette. You have a beautiful name, but that's my wife's name as well. Uh, yes, letting the manager manage the practice. Of course, it's very important for me to have my manager manage the practice. I want to focus on the clinical dentistry aspect. I don't want to think about, okay, how to submit stuff to the insurance company, how to fight a claim and all that. It has to be done by the management, by the front desk people, not the clinical doctor. The clinical doctor has to focus on treating patients. Yes, I am the CEO of the practice. I have to make sure that I oversee the operations of the practice, but I should have my manager, my front desk personnel directing everything for me to be successful.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
should not be me. It should not be the dentist.
Healthcare, there's only one language, guys. It's called quality. Your
Mhm.
quality metrics defines you as a healthcare institution. So every hospital, it's one we have to work at a standard, and
Mhm.
everybody has to follow a standards. We can't deviate like engineers or financiers like that. We can't be that creative with healthcare because we have to work within a standard. It's the strategies in those standards that what allows us to grow or scale. If you can come up with strategies that keeps you within the standards, within the compliance of participation, you're good.
Mhm.
So what I recognize in healthcare is really the only way to do that is to really follow through with something called quality assurance performance improvement. If
Mhm.
you can continuously do that like a Toyota, your scalability is really high because again, it's your patience or your ability to provide care of any kind that really dictates your performance. It's not like a material or e-commerce where it's a product and it's just attractive to a lot of people and people start emotionally buying. In healthcare, people are emotionally.
Yeah,
You,
100%.
you don't have to sell it. You know what I mean? You just have to prove that you can be the best care provider.
100%.
And if I may add, Ruben and Nikki,
Yeah, sure.
being a dental practice owner and being a dentist, you have to learn. Even though you own the business, you have to learn to delegate the task. Yes, you own the practice, you own the business, but you cannot be the manager and manage every single one, calling the uniform company or calling the insurances to fight a claim or to submit a claim. No, it has to be delegated for you to be efficient, so and for you to provide the right care, the quality care for that your patients deserve.
100%. 100%. We have another question in coming in as well. I might as well leave it up there for you. As a tough educated dentist and mission driven practitioner, how are you integrating cutting edge technologies like clear aligners and dental implants to shape patient-centered care?
Yeah. I I have all the technologies, all the tools, the cone beam CT X-rays or intraoral scanners. It made my life efficient, utilizing AI tools, of course. Um, uh, uh, Treatment planning, using those tools, the technology, creating smile designs through online platform, with actually there's a company that is based in Canada, but most of their staff are Filipinos. They're doing the smile design. I'm not
Mm,
going to mention the name of it, but yeah. So yeah, and I do that. I have that in the practice because we have to stay up to date to the technology, or else your neighboring dental offices out there will take over your patients or your patient base.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would just have one follow-up question from Bernadette. Do you get a lot of compliance issues?
Well, I make sure that I follow all the OSHA HIPAA compliance, and I recently had the my evaluator, and I can say that I don't have any compliance issues.
Yeah, you haven't been shut down, right? So you're good.
No.
ISA Health Solutions provides in-home healthcare staffing. How do you maintain quality and compassion at scale? Really good question, especially in a home setting.
Mhm.
So unlike an inpatient setting, home care is not controlled. So the controls for it is not like it is in a nursing home or in a hospital where it's very tight controls. In the community, it's not controlled. So there's a lot of variation. We what do I put this, like infection control? It's hard to do that in the community because you can't tell people how to take care of their house. You know what I mean? Like you have to work with the difference. So what you do to scale, again, you have to, your service line is caring. That is your product. It's really competencies for your service line. Your nurses' competencies are so important in nursing when you're selling nursing and caring, that it makes a difference because their competency, and we stick by a standard, their competency, and they teach that to a patient. That patient's competency in what they're supposed to do for themselves at home makes a difference in how you perform, how your agency looks. So take a person with diabetes. If you took that patient on and he was diabetic and he was complex diabetic, his diabetes was all over the place. 3 months later, this patient's diabetic. His A1C went from 10 to 4. Now you have, like, it speaks volumes about the kind of service you provide as a home care agency. So that's what will scale you, because when he goes back to his doctor is going to be like, wow, look at what have you been doing differently. So the nurse's interactions with the doctor's offices, the patient's ability to teach the doctor about all the things he's been doing right, it's going to be like, your nurse did a good job. So there you go, there goes your marketing plan. So
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know what ADA and MDS means in the dental
Oh,
world. What does that mean?
ADA is American Dental Association, and MDS is Massachusetts Dental Society.
I see.
But let me say one thing. Massachusetts Dental Society, they are actually open doors for a lot of foreign trained dentists for them to practice dental hygiene license here in Massachusetts. Actually, that's one of the trend right now that is happening because there's a shortage of hygienists across the country. So only Florida, I believe, is the only one that allows foreign trained dentists to practice the profession, but as a hygienist.
Mm.
But you have to be credentialed. Here in Massachusetts, it is a law now that any foreign trained dentist, for as long as they follow all the credentialing guidelines, at least I believe 5 years of experience in their home country, they can, if they migrated here in the US, they can move to Massachusetts and take the licensure exams. They'll be able to be a hygienist here and continue their career.
Mm.
So that's the trend that is happening.
What is it that you want them to know, um, that you already haven't said, and leave with them, for them to think about?
Yes. So thank you. My story is not unique, but it's uniquely Filipino,
Mm.
grounded in family. I
Love
always mention about family, fueled by grit, guided by faith in something bigger than myself. I hope my journey reminds others that no dream is too distant and no goal is too great when you carry your heritage, us being Filipino, with pride and your purpose with humility. So I'm trying to reach out also to any Filipino dentist in Massachusetts, in the New England area, or maybe out there in the whole United States. If you need guidance, you can reach out to me and maybe I can give you a little tips, mentor you so that you can also achieve this dream of being a dentist, being a dental professional here in the United States.
Mm,
Maybe you can get some inspiration from me, I would say.
mhm,
Without
mhm.
pride. But yeah.
Let me just ask. I know that was your
Yeah.
parting thought, but did there must have been someone that did that for you?
Actually, it's not a Filipino that did that to me. It's actually a professor at Tufts. She's Hispanic, from Venezuela, and she treated me like her son. He
Mm,
said, "Where have you been? You should have been practicing for many, many years. How come we never met?" And since then, I'm treating her like my second mother, and she's been mentoring me, and I want to make sure that I'll be able to pass that mentorship to Filipinos or whatever nationality out there that needed help, which I have been doing since I was able to achieve this goal of mine. So yeah, I want to make sure that there will be Filipino out there that is listening, Filipino dentists that is listening that may need some guidance.
all right. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's amazing. Nikki, do you want to just share some parting thoughts about what we our conversation today with Dr. Austria?
I thank you, Dr. Austria. I want to frame what you just said on my wall. That was extremely inspirational. I really appreciate that. It's true. I do believe that, you know, being a business owner and scaling and the risk taking personality, you have to remind yourself to stay humble. Um,
We have to,
yeah, so that's very important. No matter how much money you make, you have to,
yeah.
yeah, you just stay humble. No matter how much
Mm,
you achieve, you have to stay humble. So
mm.
I really appreciate that statement you made there. Again, I want to just thank you, for being here on the show and allowing us to speak with you and, willing to help others is a really great thing. I know you're a busy guy. Doctors are not bored. so, so,
I'll
you know,
be I'll be cutting the grass later on.
oh, there you go. Can you cut mine too? Yeah, no, but thank you so much for being here. So.
Nikki, oh my goodness. Just wanted to say thank you so much for co-hosting today. It's always amazing to have you, share your insights and as an entrepreneur, but also experiences as a business person. Doing the thing, and it's really important that, or at least for me, it's really important that we continue to do this so that we contribute. You know what I mean? Because that's really what it's all about. So I appreciate you. Just want to let you know, and it's been too long. Hopefully we'll see you again on Freedom Friday Live, and absolutely looking forward to breaking bread and enjoying July 1st and just having a good old time.
Oh,
So
good. It's
yeah.
July 1st, so you're gonna have to take a shot with me,
Well, hey, you know what? It's going to be a celebration. So make sure we do that, and we got to make sure we sing karaoke. I think
All
we'll see
right.
we'll see how well Dr. Austria sings.
All right.
So again, thank you so much. This has been Freedom Friday Live. My name is Coach Shrew from Filipinos in Productions. We're going to play an industry health video about the health industry. Hopefully, you can join us on a future show. Take care, guys.
Health is a priority. Yours, your families, and your communities. No matter where you are, access to dedicated healthcare professionals can change lives. Filipino healthcare experts continue to uplift and care for communities across the globe, often going beyond the call of duty. At Filipinos in Productions, we honor these heroes by giving them a platform to be seen, heard, and celebrated. We help expand their reach, amplify their voice, and connect them with those who need their expertise most. Because when healthcare thrives, our communities thrive with it. To get connected and feature your brand, call or text 781-399-5433 or email support@filipinosin.com.